So hi, this is Nick Williams. I'm sitting here with Marie-Claire Carlisle. Hi Marie-Claire, how are you doing?
Hi Nick. Good, I'm doing good.
Very good.
Yeah.
Marie-Claire is the author of How to Become a Money Magnet. So how long has this been out now?
Came out through Hay House on 6th of September this year. That's 2010. Yeah.
Great. Well, congratulations. And it's been having a very good reception, hasn't it? People
Yes,
have been very interested in the idea.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I know you've got a very varied background, and I know in some respects we've got a very similar background in as much as you come from sales, as I came from sales,
Yes.
but you do some very different things today. So do you just want to talk about what you do today, and then we'll talk about it in the context of, you know, inspired entrepreneurs and the people that I serve. So
Okay.
what is it you do today?
What is it I do? I have the best job in the world because I basically coach people who want to make a really big difference out there. And when I say they want to make a big difference, predominantly they're entrepreneurs, but their vision for the world isn't sort of making a tool that can, well, it's not selling baked beans, put it that way. It tends to be something a lot more inspiring. So, for example, I work with somebody who's up for transforming children's services in the UK, and that's so inspiring. I work with another client who is passionate about working with men who are at midlife crisis and are hitting mild depression, and because he's been through that journey himself. So it's I get enormous satisfaction working with people to make a wider difference. It's so exciting. It's fantastic.
So you work with people. When you work with one person, you know that one person is going to have an impact on hundreds or thousands of lives.
Absolutely. And somebody once said, you know, you can change the world, and I thought, well, don't be crazy, but actually we can.
We do.
Can.
We are.
Yes, we
Every
just
day
a
we're all doing.
ripple in the pond. It's just amazing.
Great.
And that feels really real. Yeah.
And you've also trained in feng shui and space
Yes.
clearing.
Yes, well, yes, I went from sort of sales manager, sales director for years and years and years, and then when I'd had enough of the corporate world, I retrained in feng shui. I trained with Diana Cooper, which is where I originally heard about the law of attraction. I've been on a Caribbean cruise with Bob Proctor and Michael Beckwith from The Secret. You know, I trained with a lot of the masters, Rich Banner for NLP. So, and all that knowledge came together into the Money Magnet Workshop, which of course then kick-started the book. So it's been quite a roller coaster.
So you were
really.
doing it for quite a while before you wrote the book.
Oh yes, yes.
Yeah,
I've been running the workshop for every month for at least a year. And I always start from a slightly sceptical background. You know, I always start thinking, well, let's see if it works first.
Yeah.
Which is a good place to be.
Yeah, that's a tip for anybody watching this who's thinking about writing a book. I'm a great believer in a really good book comes from your experience, not in order to kickstart a career. That actually you need to have had some kind of good career in order to write a good book, because you'll have learnt a lot and you'll have been challenged and had to really think your subject through.
Yeah.
Sounds like you've done that.
Yeah, and also I had a lot of case studies. So, if nothing else, when I was reading the book, every time I wanted to illustrate a point, it'd be literally insert text box, and I had lots of case studies and real-life case studies, which gives it some authenticity as well.
Great,
So,
okay.
yeah, good.
So one of the things I wanted us to talk about, because I know I've suffered from it and I know a lot of other people do, is the money bit of doing what you love. You know, I serve what I call inspired entrepreneurs, which are the kind of people you work with, people doing something personally meaningful to them, that they love doing, that they know makes a difference out in the world.
Yeah.
And for many people, the money bit is the hardest bit for them to get together. Some people it's obviously easy, some people do that very well. Yeah. A lot of people suffer and struggle around the money bit. Is that your experience?
Yes.
So what goes on in us?
Yes.
That we get
well, I think we want to help everybody, you know. We want to help everybody, and of course that's a sign we want to help ourselves. You know, that other person is a mirror of who we are. And to some extent, the more you help other people, the more you are giving value, and you should expect value to come back. The problem is that we don't receive well. Right. So people may want to pay us lots, but we're so busy helping that we can't receive. I mean,
so we're great givers, we're not good receivers.
Terrible at receiving, terrible. And I may think the British might be worse than any other nationality.
I can put my hand up.
Yeah.
I can get, you know, I talk about it in workshops. I say, I think for me, for many people, receiving is perhaps one of the hardest things to do. Why do you think we find it so hard to receive?
I think it all comes down to belief systems, and there's a whole structure about you've got to work hard, you've got to be active, you've got to keep doing, and you actually have to stop to receive. You know, it's like when somebody pays you a compliment, if you're so busy saying, oh well, no, not this old thing, or thank you, you look great too, you're not receiving. You actually have to be still and receive.
And do you think you have to value yourself to receive?
I think it's the valuing yourself comes in the action of receiving. You know, it's when somebody else pays you a compliment, when somebody else gives you some money, then you get your value. And when I say get your value, you really get it in here. Whereas up here, it doesn't work. It works in the interaction and the exchange of value with other people. And I mean, I was like you at one point, especially with the coaching thing. And I remember a turning point for me was when I received a phone call from somebody saying, it was on a Sunday, and she said, Michael, I've just put £1,000 into your bank account. And I didn't know whether to say thank you or why. So I thought, well, I'll say thank you first in case you changed your mind and it was a mistake. And then I said, why? And she said, well, you've given me some amazing coaching over the last few weeks, and I just felt that I need to pay you. And if I want to attract more money into my life, then I need to make sure I'm paying people for what I receive.
Wow.
And I got it. It was like, oh my gosh, my coaching's worth a lot of money because of the difference it made to that person. And I just haven't been asking for it. And she didn't know how much money to pay me. So by not telling people how much to give you in exchange, they get confused. You make it hard for people to give you something. It's like I say to people, if I had a magic pill that would help you release some of your negative beliefs, but I don't tell you about it. I'm not going to tell you about it because I don't want to be a salesperson, you know, and I don't want to ask you for money. Then that'd be crazy. It'd be keeping something from somebody. So yeah, it's just practicing saying those things, practicing creating that space for money.
Great. So for anybody watching this, if you could give them 2 or 3 tips for really becoming a better money magnet, as you say, how is it very much about getting out of their own way, or is there things that they actually need to do? What tips would you give people to really become better receivers of money?
Okay, 2 or 3, gosh. I think first of all, get clear on what you're about. You know, what do you like doing and what are you passionate about? Because if you try and make money from doing something you don't like doing, odds are you're not going to be brilliant at it if you don't like doing it. So really get clear on what turns you on. What is your big vision for the world? Because if you have a vision that's bigger than who you are, that will inspire you, that will drive you on. In terms of upping your value, set a financial target. I'm amazed at how many people say, I'd love to have more money, but have no idea how much. It doesn't matter whether it's £1,000 a month, £10,000 a month, £100,000 a month. Set yourself a target and a date. And the mind will then work out how to get that target, quite incredibly. And then, actually I'd love to give you an example. Can I give you a quick example? I was raising £1 million for the monastery within 3 months.
The monastery's in Manchester, isn't it?
That's right.
Venue.
Amazing venue in Manchester. Yeah. And I was sharing this with an audience, and afterwards a lady came up to me and said she was raising money for schools in India. And she said, I'm looking to raise £10,000 in 3 months. Do you think I'm thinking big enough? And because she'd asked the question, I said, well, no, you know, how about, what would it be like if you looked to raise £1 million? What would you do differently? And this is the incredible thing. When we set ourselves a target, the brain, much as it likes to go away and look for keys if we lose keys, our brain, our subconscious is already looking for those keys. So her brain whizzed off to find a way she could raise £1 million in 3 months. Within 1 minute, she came back and said, I've just remembered, my brother-in-law is director of Google in the States. Suddenly raising £1 million in 3 months doesn't seem that difficult. But unless we have that target, we can't work out how to achieve it. So have a target.
You need a target that stretches you outside your comfort zone.
Yes, one that inspires you, that you get excited about. Because a lot of people say, well, I need £1,000 a month, I need 10,000. That's not inspiring, that's a point of need to survive. So suddenly they're not in a good energy space. They're just, oh, I've got to hang on to survive. Whereas if you double the survival target, so it becomes something that inspires you, and you think, what could be possible if I had that?
And your lifestyle will be a lot better and a lot happier. So it's really to light yourself up.
Yes.
Something rather than just go, how do I keep the blues at bay and all that stuff.
Absolutely. Okay. And then the final one, if I'm only keep sticking it to 3, although you know me, I could talk about it for hours. My final one would be jump out of your comfort zone.
Jump and get pushed out of your comfort zone.
Whatever works for you. You know, if you want to push, I'm really good at pushing. Yeah. But you know, get pushed or jump. Take the jump. You know, because opportunities. Once you've set a target, opportunities will come your way. And they'll be scary, because in order to increase your value, you have to do something differently. You know, you have to shift something, and normally it's about asking for something you've never asked for, or investing a lot of money in getting a right expert so you can up your value. It's doing something seriously outside your comfort zone, but that works.
Okay, so put yourself out. And do you believe there are kind of universal forces that then come to play, that if you put yourself in a new place, that life comes to meet you there? Is that what you
Absolutely,
believe?
absolutely. I was telling something earlier. You know, I remember the first time I invested £11,000 in a training course, and I couldn't believe I was doing it. It was like, oh my gosh, this is absolutely crazy. I'm spending 11,000. I could put that as a deposit on a house, you know, or buy a car with £11,000. And I'm investing £11,000 in a course, and I had tears.
In yourself and your own growth, presumably.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely, and that's the most important thing you can invest in. But it was still a large sum of money, and once I committed to that, once I, if you liked, I jumped, then doors started opening for me, and my value just increased tenfold as a result of just that one decision, that one commitment.
So you valued yourself, other people valued you.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. We'll bring this conversation to a conclusion. Thanks for watching it. I hope you've enjoyed it. We'll probably have another conversation in a minute, so you can watch another video. So
Thank
thanks
you
very much. Cheers.
Thank you, Nick.